so happy to be joined on the podcast by, and he doesn't know this yet, but until about week 13 this year, he was going to be my offensive rookie of the year in the NFL. But he ended up finishing second on my ballot to Justin Herbert, another Justin. But Justin, I think your rookie year was absolutely sensational. It's been a long time since I've seen a rookie wide receiver just come into the NFL like you've played there for 6 years. So anyway, first of all, congratulations on your year.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Let's start, and we'll get to your to the reason why you're here in a moment. But let's just start by just getting to the point of what a weird year 2020 was. The weirdest year that players who've played in the NFL for 15 years have had, because you're not at practice as much, you're not in the classroom as much, you're doing it by Zoom, all that stuff. Tell me about how difficult a year this was to have, especially when you're a rookie.
It was very difficult. Just the things that we didn't get to do that a lot of NFL players had got to do before. As an example, going to the NFL draft, that definitely is one of the things that is a dream for a lot of guys, especially that get drafted on the first day. So didn't really get to do that. We had to learn the playbook on Zoom. So that definitely was difficult. I never had to do that before in my life. So I definitely had to really, buy into what I was learning, and had to figure out a way to learn over Zoom. So all of those stuff definitely was difficult to do. And to say that I still had the season that I had, it was a true blessing. I couldn't ask for any more and be on a better team.
So that people kind of understand a little bit about this, I thought one of the most interesting things that happened this year in the NFL was when the Cleveland Browns had to play a playoff game and their head coach was in his basement back in Cleveland. And the team is playing in Pittsburgh and he's watching on TV. And one of the people who works for the team said, yeah, it was obviously crazy, but it wasn't as bad as people thought. And I said, what do you mean? And he goes, well, on Saturday, we get to Pittsburgh for the playoff game. We go to the hotel, and usually in an average year, you all go to the ballroom and have your meeting. Maybe you have a team meal, you have a snack after your meeting, everything like that. And you're seeing everybody. But in this particular year, Kevin Stefanski, the coach of the Browns, is sitting back home in his basement in Ohio, and he runs the Saturday night meeting from his basement. But because everybody is doing the meeting on a Zoom, all Kevin Stefanski is, he's the same square that he always is for one of these meetings. So even though he's 130 miles away, you really don't notice that. That's the kind of stuff that you guys had to get used to this year.
Yeah, it definitely is. And it's kind of hard to bring that energy, bring that excitement, when we doing stuff like that. We would love to have, the coach right there and we all together, being a fundamental team, you know what I'm saying? Just connecting as a team whole before the game. But, a lot of stuff has changed. And that's just something that we have to get through. It's just a barrier in the way, and we just got to find a way to jump it.
I want to get to two things in your rookie year. I was, as I sit and watch all the games, some of every game, first time I really noticed you this year was the third game of your season. You guys play Tennessee at home. It ended up becoming kind of a famous game because that was after that game, Tennessee has all these people come down with COVID. Yeah. And you guys don't really have a COVID problem, which really educated a lot of people at the top of the NFL that COVID spread doesn't happen through these little short bursts of competition. Yeah. But the reason why I thought the game was noticeable, especially for you, you're 21 years old. This is your third game in the NFL. And you go up against, a team that was in the AFC Championship game last year. 7 catches, 175 yards, 1 touchdown. And I just kept, when I was watching that game, I watched a lot of that game. It was a great game. You guys lost, but it was a great game. And what I remember about it saying is, how is this guy just look like he belongs? He's 21 years old. This is his third game in the NFL. And it looks, I don't want to say easy, but it looked pretty damn easy for you. And so I would just ask you, take me back to that game, that day, and tell me what you were feeling that day and why you think you had so much success.
Well, it really started that Monday before, reaching that game. Coach Koob had called me, that Monday afternoon or something like that, and said that he was going to give me the opportunity to start. So, me just being excited I am, I definitely had to make the most of that opportunity. So, in practice, just showing them that, they can count on me to know the plays and to make those plays when it comes to me. And Coach Coop called the right plays that game, and Kurt gave me the opportunities to go out there and make those big plays. And that's what I did. And I mean, me just being a fit receiver pick, I definitely had to make the most of that opportunity. I had to show the world that I'm able to play on this level, and I can be a dominant player on this level.
You obviously come from major college, haven't played at LSU. Your last year at LSU, obviously you played with Joe Burrow, which, I mean, watching that team in 2019, that looked like an NFL team to me. More than any offense that I ever remember watching in college football, that offense seemed to be an NFL offense. Your deep strike capability throughout the game, throughout those games with Burrow. And so I just want to ask you, do you think playing at that level with, obviously with a guy who then went on to the NFL and Joe Brady as your offensive coordinator now with Carolina, and then catching balls from the first pick in the draft, Joe Burrow, do you think that helped your transition to the NFL?
100%. Having Coach Joe Brady coming in with that pro-style offense, going to the combine, being asked, about concepts and about routes, I knew majority of it. I pretty much had every single scheme down packed. It just was different terminologies that NFL teams use. So having a year head start than everybody else in the college level, it kind of played out perfectly. And having Joe Burrow, throw to me and me getting 1,500 yards, that was just the start of it. He helped me reach to the first round, and I'm definitely grateful for him to come to LSU and bring the skills that he had to LSU.
People always wonder this, and they always ask questions like this, which I find totally fascinating. But by the end of your season at LSU, where you're dominating everybody, you're dominating the great teams, you dominated Alabama offensively. And I wonder, have you ever thought, or have you guys ever sat around, did you ever think, man, I wonder what it would be like if we lined up against an NFL team? What do you think? Really? I mean, with that LSU team, how would you have done playing in an NFL game?
I feel like we would have did perfectly fine, to be honest. If you really look at it, we had Clyde in the backfield. Clyde is in a Super Bowl. He's doing his own thing. Joe Burrow, he got hurt, but before he got hurt, he was up for Rookie of the Year. Had me, I'm up for Rookie of the Year now. You got Jamar Chase that's up for top pick in the draft. I got Terrace that's going to also be a top pick in the draft. So there's a lot of guys on our team that went high in the draft and that is going high in the draft, that would have been a big part if we would have actually played an NFL team. I feel like we would have did a good job playing an NFL team, though.
Is there a reason why you think that so many receivers right now are so NFL ready when they leave college football?
Wait, can you repeat that, the beginning part of that question?
Is there a reason why you think so many receivers
I mean, not a lot of receivers at that, do that. But if a receiver come in and do that, I just feel like they know their determination. They have that spark in their mind, that something in their lives that puts them over the top, that gives them that extra boost to go out there and just keep performing at a high level. And me just being with the coaches, being with the players that I have been with at LSU, they just really just got me perfectly ready for the NFL, with route running, with being able to catch the ball, with body control, a lot of stuff that I did at LSU, that led on to being the player I am today in the NFL.
Were you a big 7-on-7 player in high school?
We didn't do a lot of 7-on-7s. I was very small in high school at that. I was 170 in high school, wasn't very tall, wasn't very explosive, wasn't very fast. So when I got to LSU, that's when I really equipped all of those abilities, being able to run fast, being able to catch the ball, running routes. So all of those things came later on in my career. I had to work hard for those things, and they didn't come easily. But as the more determination that I put towards the game, the more I wanted to prove people wrong. The better I got, the more understanding I got of the game, and me just being in the corner with all of these people to help me out, it just came to me easily.
So here's my last football question. LSU has really gotten to have a great fraternity of receivers. And, I notice it's almost like defensive players at Miami, maybe 15, 20 years ago, Ray Lewis and all those guys. But what I really think it is I think it has something to do with the way a guy like Jarvis Landry thinks. He's an LSU receiver, obviously, as you know. And Jarvis Landry, if he notices guys on his team are either slacking off in some ways or not doing it, he doesn't care who they are. He doesn't care what position they play. It doesn't matter to him. He is going to jump down their throat. And, there is this kind of this worker ethos among LSU receivers, in my opinion, that really is a great trait for this next level, in that you're so competitive, and you're really kind of feisty. I noticed that with you this year. You have no problem with stomping around a little bit and telling everybody, hey, listen, this is big. We got to do this. What is it about? Is it LSU, do you think, and what you bring to the NFL from there?
It could be from LSU. Us just being from Louisiana, period. We carry that feistiness, that fire in us. Just us just being born and raised with it. We always have that attitude, and that eager to go out there and just performing our best ability. But it also has to do with the love that we have for the game. I know Jarvis, I know Odell, they love the game. Just like me, I love the game. So, me going out there losing is not an option. We want to win. We want to go out there and just put on the best show for ourselves and for the people watching. So if it takes us getting on the starting quarterback that's been there for years, or if it takes us getting on the lineman for something, that's just what it has to be. That's called leadership, and that's the only way that you're going to get far in your career.
It's amazing that you're 21 years old, and you're talking like that. It's kind of cool. So you come to us today from M&M's. You're representing M&M's, and I'm a little bit of an M&M-aholic, as I think most people in the United States are. But I wanted to ask you, when you're a kid, so were you an M&M's guy as a kid? Were you a candy bar guy as a kid? Did you have a sweet tooth? What's your introduction to M&M's?
I liked M&M's. M&M's is one of my favorites. I always remember buying M&M's or getting M&M's for Halloween and just killing them as soon as I see them. So M&M has definitely been good with just working with them and just being a part of what they have going on. We're trying to bring excitement to the world, connect people all around the world. So a lot of things have been happening over this past year that has been devastating. So we're just trying to put some smile on people's faces and just have a little fun with it. Also, we have a new store in Disney Springs too that a lot of people got to check out. It's fun, and I think a lot of people will enjoy.
So maybe people, for people who listen to this who might be going to the Super Bowl, they can just take a little drive over from Tampa and go to the new M&M store and become very happy immediately.
Immediately, as soon as they walk into the store and they see all the M&Ms, they definitely will be happy immediately.
Justin Jefferson, really appreciate you taking the time. Thanks to you. Thanks to M&M's for making you available to us. And man, I'll tell you, you're going to have a fabulous career. It's really fun to watch you.
Thank you. Appreciate you.
Hey, listen, all the best to you. Thanks so much.
Thank you. It was a pleasure talking to you.
Hi, I'm Mike Tirico, and thanks for watching. Make sure to hit subscribe for the latest news and highlights from NBC Sports.